When I had really bad acne, I remember thinking I wouldn't mind having acne scars if it meant my breakouts would just stop. And now that I'm left with the scars, I catch myself wishing for my pores to be a bit smaller. And I'm sure that even if I had the most perfect glass skin, I'd probably start wishing for my dark circles to be lighter, my skin tighter, and my brows fuller. Isn't it wild that we can rarely be satisfied with ourselves, even when we're living in a version of ourselves that we used to dream about? Well, it's not entirely our fault because there's a whole industry built on convincing women to keep finding flaws in ourselves. These quote-unquote solutions are marketed as improvements, and just when we finally feel peace with ourselves, there's always something new to disrupt that peace. I think more than ever, we have to remind ourselves that our faces and bodies are not trends. They don't go out of style, nor do they need to fit a certain aesthetic for everyone else to find acceptable. I'd like to think that I had to spend all that money buying creams, lotions, and potions to learn this one lesson. Looking amazing does not have to be expensive. So I just want to show you how I've minimized my beauty routine. Not only does it make me feel beautiful, but it's also good for my budget and my mental health too. Is there such thing as a life-changing shampoo? I've used a $50 one before and a $5 one, and the best in my opinion is the one that does a decent job at cleaning my hair and always available at my local pharmacy. This prickly pear one from Chlorine checks off both for me. But more than the brand, I think how we wash our hair makes a huge difference. Shampooing the top of the head as usual, then putting it halfway up, and I'll even have to flip my head upside down to make sure the shampoo gets everywhere. Some of the things I do for my hair care, I use a rosemary oil and leave it in overnight about every other week. And once a month, I will use a clarifying shampoo to remove any product buildup. I feel like this routine has helped with having healthy hair, but also I don't dye my hair. I don't perm it or use excessive heat on it, which saves me money and also makes a huge difference. So I also use the prickly pear conditioner too, since it came in a sale bundle. And this duo lasts about a couple of months because the tiniest bit of product can go a long way. And while that's marinating in my hair, I move on with the rest of my shower routine. This body soap is from a Portuguese company called Amor Luso. They make all-natural soaps, beautiful candles, and home fragrances. Of course, this video is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just showing you what I've been using. I'm hoping that this video will make you realize that you can look put together and feel beautiful with the products that you currently have. And after every bath, I have to follow it up with a good full-body exfoliating session. If you don't want to see dead skin cells, please look away in 3, 2, 1. If you grew up in a Korean household, you probably know this exfoliating mitt already. There's truly no other like it. This was a bonding thing with my mom, my sister, and my grandma. We would all go to the sauna, talk stories in there until we became pruny, and exfoliate for each other afterward. And hey, this is still my idea of a good time. I like using a physical exfoliant because it really gets the blood flowing. And afterwards, I just put on a little bit of a dry body oil and it makes my skin baby soft. And doing this whole routine after a good sweaty workout session, I come out of it feeling like $1 million. Before I blow dry my hair, I use a heat protectant, let it sit there for about 5 minutes or so, and then blow dry it. This one bottle has lasted me a whole year, and I think it's well worth the investment. And now I have to ask, do you guys get bored of having the same hairstyle? Because I don't feel like myself in another hairstyle other than this. I noticed that if I blow dry it nicely, I can achieve this look and I don't have to do much else for like 3 days. Just adding a little bit of volume at the crown, I guess, it does make a huge difference and looks like I put some effort in it. For my nighttime routine, I recently started using tretinoin. My sister got this one for me and it's been working very well for my skin, so I'm probably gonna have to get a prescription. I then layer it with a good thick moisturizer like this one from La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. I alternate between this routine and using this really thick oil. It's a blend of cold pressed black seed oil, which is very calming, castor oil, very nourishing, and rosehip oil, very high in vitamin C and A. Some of you guys left the sweetest comments in my latest video saying that I'm a natural beauty. And while that's very, very kind, I definitely am not. I had braces when I was 14, and I still wear my Invisalign every single night. I had my eyebrows microbladed some years ago, and my skin microneedled many times, and you will notice some leftover lash extensions on one of my eyes. There's so much emphasis on being a natural beauty nowadays, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with putting effort into being beautiful. Honestly, I have to try really hard, not just with how I look, but who I am mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And somewhere along the journey, I started to realize that I have my own unique beauty, a beauty that only I can possess. And it's definitely not something that you can get with a snap of a finger overnight with Botox, new outfit, or a self-help book. But it takes time. It's a journey of getting to know ourselves and sometimes facing parts of ourselves that aren't so beautiful. That's why I feel like a simple routine catered to our unique beauty is much better. It's all about enhancing our features and not overpowering them or covering them up or morphing ourselves into something else. Okay, enough ranting, but I want to show you my everyday look. So I like using both Ilia Skin Tint and the Topology Skin Serum to get my exact shade. I love how these products just melt into my skin. I think I have a diamond-shaped face, meaning my cheekbones are the widest point in my face. Contouring just the edges of my cheekbones really softens up my face. And then placing the blush at the outer corner of my cheekbones brings balance. And one thing that is always in my makeup bag and makes a huge difference to my face is my concealer. I draw a line to cover my dark circles and gently blend the edges with my fingers or a little brush. I don't wear eyeshadow every day, but when I do, I have this palette with all the shades that I need. If you are a soft autumn season, you might love this one. And of course, I finished the look with a mascara and I am ready for the day. It's really interesting because the last 5 years, K-beauty and Korean beauty standards have become a major international trend. A lot of the products are really good and the price points seem to be more accessible. And as a Korean woman, you would think that I would be more excited to see people taking more interest in my culture. But honestly, I have mixed feelings about this. When an ethnicity or culture becomes a trend, it flattens us into another aesthetic. It turns real people, history, culture into a marketing tactic, and that doesn't sit right with me. Growing up in Germany and England, I looked very different from my classmates. We were just kids, so of course, they wondered why my eyes were different, why my face looked flatter, why my nose wasn't as tall. Those questions made me wonder that about myself too. It took me a really long time to see myself clearly and really appreciate the features I was born with. So seeing the K-beauty and Korean beauty standards suddenly become in feels really odd for me. Because my face isn't a trend. My culture isn't a trend. And I don't want anyone's identity to be treated like one either. Thing is, there will always be new trends, right? New products, new standards. But I hope that this video helped you think about beauty with a little more intention. Hopefully it'll help you find a routine that lets your own unique beauty shine through.